morning, everybody. How are we all doing today? Don't answer that because I can't hear you.
They're doing good.
Hello, everybody. It is Ken coming to you live from the Circle I Ranch. Boy, I just broke in some strings. I didn't even realize I was breaking in new strings until I got about halfway through that little clip. Hello, and welcome to sunny, beautiful Toledo, Ohio, where it is both sunny and beautiful. We're about to have a gorgeous weekend.
Oh,
LG.
yeah.
Did you know that? Gorgeous.
Yeah. Spring is springing tomorrow.
You know what?
It's
These guys watching don't want to hear about the weather here.
No, they don't.
They
but
don't.
It is
You know what they
beautiful.
want to hear about?
What?
They want to hear about the Crosscut. That's what they want to hear about.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I think we should talk about the weather some more.
It's cruel, LG. It's cruel. It's real cruel. Yeah. She thinks she's funny, folks.
I'm hilarious.
Yeah. You think this is good? Imagine what my home life is like. Yeah. Oh, here it is. I got to tell you guys, about 4 of my best friends have dibs on this guitar right here, so they think.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the long-awaited, much-anticipated Reverend Guitars Crosscut. This is the Hardtail version. Joe Naylor, Reverend Guitars Master Luthier Designer Extraordinaire, came at me with the idea for the Crosscut, and it's been a year ago now that he did that. And that's how crazy things have been. We had these prototypes made a while back. As you can see, this is what we refer to as our single cut or charger body style. And this is the Crosscut features Railhammer clean cut pickups, which is the first time that we've put the clean cuts in a production model. And Joe wanted to have something to show off the clean cuts because, well, as you know my opinion on this, and I think Joe shares this opinion to a certain extent, but maybe not as much as me. But there is an art to what one can do with lower output pickups. As time went on, pickups kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I think a lot of players have forgotten about that art. And I'm seeing it come back with the younger players now. There's a lot of clean tones,
right.
A lot of clean, very clean playing with a lot of finger tapping and really interesting sounds that are coming out of a younger generation. And I think this guitar addresses that very, very well. The idea of having the, and when we say lower output pickups, I mean, they're not weak by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, you know, compared to the Anvil, they have less,
Right. Oh,
they have
yeah.
less output.
Right.
They sound, to my ears, like the very, very best vintage P90 you have ever heard, only noiseless. And I'm comparing, yeah, I am. I'm comparing this guitar to like my 64 SG Junior, as far as the pickup is concerned, and
Wow.
the output of the pickup is concerned, because there's a string to string clarity there with those old soap bars and dog ears. That's really, really cool. And the clean cut pickup captures that clarity. And then we've got a string through hardtail bridge on this guitar, with the pickup, the bridge pickup floating in the bridge, which sort of, you know, obviously recalls vintage Telly type stuff and our East Sider T and the Gristlemaster and all of that. There's a brightness that happens when you don't have that bridge pickup connected to the body like we do on a lot of our stuff, which is also a thing. And so with, you know, with nothing on in the pedal board and just running into this absolutely stunning Car Super B. I mean, really? Bridge pickup magic. Both pickups on. I love doing that. Neck alone. Oh, she's dancing. Means I gotta keep doing it. Sorry, I lost my mind for a second. This is the Crosscut Railhammer clean cut pickups. This is natural Carina with a roasted maple neck, and I mean, come on. And then, of course, I don't feel like, like I repeat myself on the show all the time, but I mean, really, then you want to get into the bass contour with this thing. So for those of you who are wondering where the trick shot went, take this guitar and roll the bass contour off, and now you have the trick shot.
That's true.
I tuned it to drop D just to do something different, you know, because it was a hardtail, and I was into it
Right.
when I sat down here, whenever that was. Indeed. And this guitar, while not shipping to dealers yet, but it will be by the end of next week, I hope. We couldn't hold off in showing it to you any longer. And so the hardtail version is around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's going to come in Italian purple with the Palfero fingerboard, and then an absolutely stunner of the Oceanside green version and that pearloid guard behind me right there. What was that, LG?
What?
What did you say? Did you hear that we were doing a trem version of this guitar?
No, wait.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
Wait,
Oh, okay.
before you go there.
All right. Well, I'll just wait. I'm not even going to talk about that this week. What do you think of
No,
that?
you
No,
got-
I'm not. No, I'm not going to. Nope, not
People
going to do it.
are
Nope, not going to do it.
excited
All right,
about
let's hear about it.
this.
Talk to me.
Sky would like to know if it can chug.
Oh yeah, if it can chug.
Chug.
The question is, can I? That? Yeah, and yet while still having that the clarity thing that you're talking about, you know, that's what I meant when I was talking about the art of the low output pickup, right? With the lower output pickups, you can let your pedals and your amp do the work. And so if you're plugged into like a super high gain amp like this EVH over here, over where there's just more gain than we ever thought was humanly possible when I was a child in the 80s, you can work that gain structure within the amplifier, within pedals and stuff. With a guitar with less output, you can work your pedal chain and work your amps more. In my opinion, and come up with some really, really fun things. And then it makes those rhythm sounds and those you know, palm muted rhythms and things like that really, really smooth. So I mean, yeah, the clean cut pickups work great for that, just killer. And this was just this is a rig that's not really even designed to do high gain. And I think it sounds awesome. What else, LG?
Oh no, that's just. They wanted to hear that sound, so I thought I'd better get that sound before you changed it up.
Yeah, I don't need to change it up. Should I change it up?
Change it up, because people have
Now,
questions about
now
the
she wants me
Wilkie
to
version.
change it up. I'll change it up. Well, because they can see the other guitars hanging right there on the wall.
Well, I know.
So, and then we're just going to get this out of the way right up front.
Oh boy.
This is the Crosscut W, and that is this guitar, of course, with the Wilkinson trem and the bridge pickup with a more traditional mounted into a pickup ring. We are going to be releasing this guitar for 2021 only, and it will be available in chronic blue and black and the red burst, which just came out really, really nice on this one over there. And why are we already limiting this to 2021? Well, this goes back to our too many guitars, too little time thing. We have other ideas of things that we want to do, and quite frankly, we're already covering this body shape with the trem with the Reeves, and we are going to make the Reeves for as long as Reeves will have us, because it's one of the greatest guitars in the line. And so we're already talking about what we're going to order for next year, and we already came to the realization that we don't have room to order. We have to cut stuff already. And so this guitar is going to be available for 2021 only, and dealers have them on order. Dealers may have ordered all of them. So if you see one out in the wild and you want this guitar with a trem, for crying out loud, grab it.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor.
For
And
sure.
does it, well, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like the other one, only with the trem. See? I couldn't help it. I don't know why. I should have done that.
You
on the
haven't played
purple
it in
one.
like a year, that's why.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose. Oh, I'm wearing my Gordon Downey hat today, by the way, because it's a special day. Ooh, that was a 2 pickup tone, LG. There's that neck. Bridge, rock. What?
Darrell.
Hi, Darrell.
He's getting the red one.
Kick ass.
And he wants to know if the Wilkinson trem makes a difference in tone compared to the one without.
I think the bridge
sounds different.
Yeah, I think the bridge pickup is. I don't notice it as much with both pickups on, and I don't notice it as much with the neck pickup. But there are all of the usual differences that come into play between hardtail and trem guitars. Obviously, will come into play with these. So when you put floating trem on a guitar, especially, you have to remove all of this wood from around the bridge area, and you end up with a more resonant sounding instrument. More resonant is really that's not really the best way to describe it.
Punchier to my ear.
Well, it's more open, and,
Yeah.
and it affects, the removal of that wood around the bridge affects the mid-range. So the hardtail version is, of course, solid all around the bridge, and then we've got this solid, massive bridge that's holding the pickup in place as well. And so this guitar, to my ear, in the bridge position, this is a brighter instrument all around than the trem version is. I don't notice that much of a difference in the neck pickup or the middle positions as you do in the bridge position on the two. That's my subtle
Your 2 cents.
My 2 cents.
Can you grab the red burst? People
Can
want
I?
to see it up close. People
Can
are
I?
really excited about it. It is beautiful.
Yes, yes I can. Why? Because I am wireless with the microphone.
It's like it's 1976 in here.
Red burst, I'm going.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at how yummy the back is. It's a shame nobody sees that part.
Yeah, I suppose.
There's our fancy input jack. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Wilkinson trem, you can see it floating there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lot of chrome. That roasted maple neck. Oh, that's so pretty then. I like it too, folks. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
And then Kevin asked if that's a new light purple behind you.
This is the Italia purple, folks.
Yes.
This is the Italia purple. We have been doing this on, what are we doing on the Roundhouse and the Jetstream 390.
Right.
And we're doing this on, it is basically the center of the purple burst. So for the Sensei RA and purple burst and the Triad Basin purple burst, the purple in the middle is basically this color. This is Italia purple. This is the hardtail.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Yeah, and then of course Oceanside green is Oceanside green.
Can you reach it?
Can I reach it? I can
Yeah.
reach anything.
It's a little
I
blown
got
out
these
back
long
there.
ass arms.
I know you do.
Mm-hmm. There she is. Wow.
Pretty, pretty, pretty. Trevor would like to know if these are going to be left-handed.
Trevor, I'm so sorry. I know you left-handed guys put a lot of pressure on us, and we want. If I had the ability and the room to do so, I would make everything that we do left-handed for you guys, and I think that a lot of them would even sell. You know, when we first started offering left-handed models, we couldn't give them away.
Right.
And then
that's
we
changed.
went through a period where it
yeah.
kind of jaded us for a minute.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it sort of turned a tide where we couldn't make enough left-handed guitars. And now we're sitting at a point where we just can't make enough of everything, and of anything, you know what I mean? So it's very difficult for us to work left-handed models into the line at the moment, and especially outside of the main stuff. I mean, this year, the 600 HPP is going to be available left-handed. That's the only new model that we are planning on doing left-handed right now. That can change. I would love to see this model, particularly as a hardtail, be available in left-handed, and maybe we can get into that in 2022.
Yeah.
But I don't have any plans on doing it in 2021, and I am sorry. But I'm
Well,
I'm being brutally honest with you.
We try to move it around the line to try to get to everything eventually.
Eventually.
As much as we can. Some things we can't because of sourcing issues and stuff. But
Indeed.
Yep. Let's see. You ready for some housekeeping things?
Sure. Where are the Greg Koch Gristle 90s?
Nobody asked that, actually.
Oh. Cool. I'm glad that you guys are excited about what we're doing. That's awesome.
Right.
I'm glad. The Greg Koch Gristle 90s are over there. The prototypes are still hanging in here on the wall next to me. I can see them, and they're gorgeous. And they are going to start shipping when these start shipping soon. There have been just so many delays in absolutely everything. It's hard for the factory to get parts and raw materials, and then we get the guitars made, and then it's hard to get stuff to get them here, and then they take forever to get here. Once they get here, I tell you right now, I got 11 guys in this building chopping at the bit to get started on the next round of guitars if they would just get here.
Right.
And as soon as they do, they're going to start going.
Yeah. Well, the whole industry is at max right now. All the factories, all the parts suppliers, all guitar. I mean, everybody's.
She speaks the truth.
You know, we're all sort of in this boat together, and so we're all sort of figuring out this lovely, lovely renewed interest in the guitar. We're all very, very grateful.
Yeah.
But we have some infrastructure bumps and stuff to get over.
Yeah, for sure.
Spider said, "Dallas Guitar Show!" Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going.
I'm going.
I got my shots. Penny's going.
I will have my shots starting next week. So.
Yeah, Greg's going as far as I know.
Right.
And so we're going to go down there, and I don't have a lot to bring, unfortunately, because we're out of guitars. But I'm going to bring some stuff, and then of course our friends at the Tone Shop will be there, and they'll have some stuff, and probably a small display of some sort, and we are going to go and represent because that's what we do.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And it's going to be good to see everybody. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Man, I got to get back out there in the world a little bit. And that sounds like a pretty good way to kick it off. Indeed. Dallas.
Max,
we're coming, Jimmy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Max says, "Nice shirt." Max Feinstein.
Is this? Can we say this?
Yes.
I'm concerned.
No, I think we can.
This is okay.
It's okay.
All right. Max, post a link to where they can get this shirt if anybody wants it. Max makes these.
And
they're cool.
It might be a good time to talk about his new album he has coming out.
Oh, talk away, LG.
The first single is "Give Me an H." It's all about hemophilia awareness and sort of talking about it's something Max struggles with, but he's making it into his art, which is awesome. He's a fantastic guitar player. So.
And a very good friend of the company.
Yes. Indeed.
Support Max.
Yep.
Good dude.
And let's see what else.
These have been in the building for like 6 months.
That's true.
Seriously, I mean, they've been here. We did these. That's just how crazy. There's so many guitars in so little time. You know what I mean? But I was just thinking we need to.
Somebody asked, and now I can't find it.
But what did they ask, LG?
But they asked about prices. What prices are these going to be?
I think $9.99 Hardtail and $10.99 Trem Street. Maybe it's $10.99, $11.99. I don't remember. I think it's $9.99 and $10.99 though.
I think it's $9.99, $10.99. Yeah. And somebody on YouTube.
I'm excited about them too, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm like.
I know. Somebody on YouTube called My Secret Machine asked, if you had guitars made in the U.S., do you think they would be all around better guitars? And if so, would the price increase justify that? And I thought it was a timely time to touch on that topic again.
Ooh, getting geopolitical on me.
I guess.
It's a really good question, man. And I of course, I have some very strong opinions on this question. But I'll share some of them with you. I don't believe that country of origin should be taken into consideration when purchasing goods so much anymore. Global technology has made it such that people build to the standards that they're given anywhere around the globe. The reason why we think of Asian goods as being cheaper goods is because in a lot of cases, they were designed to be cheaper goods 50 years ago. People were like, well, how can we make this cheaper? How can we make this cheaper, right?
Or even 30 years ago.
Or 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, right? When there was the big guitar boom, and they were like, well, we'd sell a lot more guitars if we had $50 guitars that we could sell, and it just so happened that the only place that they could make $50 guitars in the late 60s was in Japan. And so they started coming over. But the bottom line, what I see in this industry is people able to build to the quality of what the expectation is from them is where we are. Because let's be honest with you, the CNC machine was the great equalizer in the guitar industry. If you start looking at neck joints on Fender guitars from the 50s and 60s and 70s, no two are the same. And when you start getting into the quality of the even like their American Standard series in the late 80s through now, and then you start looking at the quality of our stuff, they're all perfect because they were designed to be perfect and a machine made them all perfect. I'm not saying that that's better, I'm just saying that it's a fact. And so when that becomes the manufacturing standard, then the programming of the CNC machine in California, Mexico, Japan, Korea, China, it starts to, you know, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I mean, but the quality can be very, very consistent. So what I'm seeing is that when a big guitar company goes overseas to have a guitar made, they have to have these factories overseas dumb down the quality of the guitars that they're making over there so that they don't compete with themselves and what they're doing here, because they very easily could just replicate the guitars that are being made here, and I don't think anybody would ever know. And so I'm not saying that that goes on, I'm just saying that that's a fact. And so case in point, you asked. Case in point, I got this Ibanez. It's behind Penny on the table over there. I do a whole lot of demo videos with Railhammer pickups, and I like to buy cheap guitars and put Railhammer pickups in them. And I like to buy really expensive guitars and put Railhammer pickups and show that these pickups sound fantastic and across multiple platforms and price ranges and stuff like that. And this is a Chinese-made Ibanez double cutaway artist that I got from my buddy up at Beast Music in Mount Pleasant. And the fit and finish on this guitar is ridiculous. And it's $7.99.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah. And
the fit and finish is amazing. But the pickups were subpar if you're a pro player and you know these things. The pickups weren't great. The tuners weren't great. It needed tuners real bad. And it had a real cheap nut on it. We fixed those three things, and it is an amazing playable guitar. So you think to yourself, well, I mean, so what does a pair of pickups cost, and what does a set of tuners cost when you're buying in bulk and direct from the manufacturers and stuff like we are or whatever? And so that company, I don't want to call out Ibanez. You guys know I'm an Ibanez fan or whatever. I'm just using this as an example.
No, they're just trying to make a guitar that.
Yeah, they want to make a guitar that fits in this price range.
Right.
They fix those things on that guitar, and then they're competing with themselves in the $1,500 price range or the $2,400 price range or whatever. And they don't want to do that, and so they have to look at this factory and be like, okay, well, this is where we're going to short this in order to fit it into this hole, right? So, and you know, to bring it on home and turn this into a sales pitch to what we do, well, we don't have those issues. We've been working with this company Mir in South Korea for 20 years now in one way or another, whether they're just making the necks and the pickups for us or whether they're doing the whole builds for us or whatever. And when they make these guitars for us, what we are tapping into is their generations of experience building electric guitars. And then we don't have to short on anything. I mean, Joe designs these beautiful Railhammer pickups. We use the locking tuners. We use Wilkinson. 50 years in the guitar business, you know, making parts and stuff like that.
Right.
And so Joe is taking his design work and tapping into generations worth of experience, whether it be Wilkinson in England or Mir in Korea or Hipshot here in the States or whatever it is. And we are taking the best of all of these things and putting them into this guitar. So if I was to try to build this guitar here in the States, I would be starting from scratch making guitars. Would I be able to replicate this guitar here as well as what they make in Korea? Is it worth me trying to do that just to say, well, it's made in the USA? I don't think so. And I think as the more that time goes on, the less that really means. And you guys got to remember, and I mean, just you guys that are watching in the States, people are watching this from Australia, and they're watching this from England, and they're watching this from Japan, and we sell guitars all over the world. And where all over the world has the made in the USA thing, you know, has less meaning now. And I know that I'm not saying that I don't have pride in my country. I very much do. One of the things that Joe always used to say when Joe sat in, well, he never sat in this exact chair.
No, he did not.
but
He sat in that
Joe,
chair, though.
but Joe said company of origin.
Yeah.
Versus country of origin.
That's true.
You know, and the reason why we are able to do what we do is because we're in the US of A.
Well, and
the US of fucking A.
And then I would just add also.
Yeah.
One of the things that's keeping our costs down is not necessarily that they're made in Korea. Korea is a thriving economy with,
without question,
you know, lots of professional people and so on. It's that we're basically renting a share of a factory when we do this.
what she said.
And it really doesn't matter if the factory is next door or halfway around the world. And then Mr. Cho, I'll tell this story.
Yeah.
Mr. Cho, who owns Mir Music, who is an older gentleman, his father and grandfather made violins. And he was like, and other stringed instruments like that. And he literally saw the Beatles and was like, that's what I want to do. We're going to make guitars. And they thought he was crazy. And
then it
here we
ended up
are.
keeping them
Going. Right.
Yeah. As opposed to starting from scratch.
Right.
Making a factory.
Right. Well, when you
going
say he
through
has,
the learning curve.
they have generations of experience. That's where the generations of experience
Absolutely.
comes from.
Yes. Yes. And the average employee at their factory is over 50 years old.
Right. Or at least it was. I don't know if that's still true.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
You got a very, very long answer to that question, and I hope it was worth it. But no, I mean, I've been accused by people of doing some sort of disservice to the world by doing business the way we do it, and I just don't see it. You know what I mean? We feed 13 families here in the U.S.
14 with Naylor.
And I was including Naylor in the 13. Here in the Midwest.
Okay. Yes.
And then, of course, we help to feed, I mean, all of our dealers that sell this stuff and their salesmen and all of that stuff. I mean, we help them as well. And then we also, you know, we get parts from people, we get pickups from Rio Grande in Texas, and we get bridges from Hipshot, and we get stuff from all over the world, you know what I mean? And I just think it's exciting. I think it's really, really neat how all of this, how it all sort of comes together, man. I think it's just bad to the bone. And I'm proud of it, man. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I do too. Different subject.
Thank God. That was heavy.
Tim Carnes.
Can we talk about rock some more?
Yes.
Tim!
He wants to know if we'll see the Traders at Supernova.
Yes, Tim, of course, we'll be there. Yeah, Jay Navarro and the Traders, we're playing Saturday at 4 p.m. at Supernova.
Which is in?
Virginia Beach, Virginia, and it's September 17th, 18th, and 19th. And just for the record, Tim, Polka Floyd has had 5 gig offers for that weekend now. So thanks to Matt Flood for moving the festival to my busy time with my other band. But I'm not going to miss Supernova. And what I'm trying to do is pull off a little Reverend booth there too, because for those of you who don't know, Reverend has gotten to be rather large in the ska community here in the States.
It's true.
And with the Toasters, of course, which Tim is the bass player for the Toasters, for those of you wondering, and with Tim and Bucket from the Toasters, of course, which really started the ball rolling, frankly, with the ska thing. And then, that and what's my buddy's name in Montreal? Oh, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. I hate to be put on the spot like this.
You put yourself on the spot.
I know. I was going to start rattling off ska bands, and I don't just want to say Toasters and Less Than Jake, because I mean it's a lot more than the Toasters and Less Than Jake.
Right.
You know, but it's awesome. Mustard Plug, of course, Colin, and of course Suicide Machines, Jay Navarro, I play in his sideshow band, side band, and Penny's now getting on the website. She's like, I can't believe you can't remember his name. Resignators, ska from down under in Australia. Can't forget those guys, and can't forget Lady Hatchet, and her use of reverends, and it's just goes on and on and on, and I think it's rad. But we better get on with the show, LG.
Yeah.
So the Supernova Ska Festival this fall in Virginia Beach, and they're featuring many reverend artists, and I can't wait. Me, myself included. Did you guys know that I'm a reverend endorser?
Yeah, I think
Bring it
that
on, LG.
wraps it up. People are
cool.
excited.
Well, I'm glad you dig the Crosscuts, everybody. These things are going to be shipping to dealers next week and the week after. Next week we might have a special guest here. I'm not really sure what's going on. You're just going to have to tune in to find out. Thank you very much. Sorry for the long-winded answer. I know it was way more than 300 words, but I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, but it was an important one.
Yeah, I suppose it was.
Yeah.
You guys have a fantastic weekend, and we look forward to seeing you right back here next week. I'm going to get all eerie and weird. Oh, I forgot we had that going. I'm really into this Earthquaker pedal again.